So you have a Kydex holster that you don't necessarily like a certain feature about, i.e. this long, skinny, gangly sweat guard. In my case, I don't have much use for this. I think it just kind of gets in the way. It's bendy, floppy, doesn't really serve a purpose. It covers a thin portion of the slide. It sticks out. My thumb gets caught on it when I'm trying to draw. You know, just doesn't really have a purpose. So, what can we do about that? If you've got a quality piece of kit with a warranty, I absolutely don't recommend chopping it up. So let's get that out of the way. This video may trigger a few Kydex benders, me being a former bender myself. So this is in the context of either an older piece of gear you have, something cheap, you know, whatever, something you don't have any support for, then this might be for you. Make a mark where you want it. Be cautious. Can you see here where the mounting holes are? Be cautious to stay away, not to get too close to these, because this material surrounding that hole gives it structural integrity. So make sure that we're not chopping too close to those, or else you could be risking your holster failing. So once we've identified where we want to mark it, where we want to cut it, we're simply going to gently heat the plastic in the area that we're going to be cutting. So to do that, I'm going to be using a heat gun from my former Kydex bending days. Your wife's hair dryer on high will work. It'll be a little bit slower, but it will work for this purpose. So all we're going to be doing to make the cut is we're going to be gently heating up this area to soften the plastic. Hair dryer, really all you need. Right, for the cutting portion, we're simply going to start gently heating. And again, we want to keep the heat away from these mounting holes back here. So we'll just kind of make some little gentle passes. Take your time to heat it up. We'll just go front and back, if available. Otherwise, you know, just on the back. Do be careful not to heat up parts of the holster that don't need to be messed with, because a little bit of heat will absolutely deform your holster. So what we're looking for is just a little bit of pliability here. See how that Kydex is now kind of flexible and bendy? That's exactly what we need. Just going to lay this down on a surface very carefully. Line it up right on our line. We're going to glide the knife across. One pass should be enough. And while it's still hot, we're just going to kind of bend it over. See, it didn't cut quite deep enough here, so I'll try once more. This should just kind of snap off. Don't muscle it. If it's not bending easily, then you definitely want to heat it up and cut it again. So that's the rough shape now of what our sweat guard is going to look like. These sharp points. There. Now, more than likely, especially if this is going to be on an inside the waistband holster, you're going to want to smooth down these edges that are now very sharp and kind of jagged. So if you have a Dremel, which is what I have, I'm fortunate enough to have a Dremel, I'm just going to hit this with a buffing wheel, and it'll take less than a minute. It'll be all done. If you don't have that, some simple 220 grit sandpaper will do the job very fine. Right? Just get in here. It's going to take a couple of minutes with this method, but it will absolutely work. Just run it down until the texture gets how you want. You know, kind of come bevel the edges a little bit, round off these horns, but that's about it. Okay, here we are. Final result. Very smooth, rounded corners. This pretty much looks like a holster that I would have sent out of my shop back in the day. It doesn't look janky. Again, I'll reiterate this. I would absolutely not modify a holster that you got from a reliable Kydex maker. I would 100% send your holster back if modifications need to be made. Don't void your warranties, guys.